Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Coaching Corner. You guys know I love Tuesdays. For those of you who are new to the Coaching Corner, I am Jamila, aka the IEP Coach. I am the founder and CEO of the IEP Coach LLC. We are an education company and we specialize in providing professional development and coaching centered around special education to your special education teams, teachers, and paraprofessionals so they can thrive in their roles and keep you out of litigation. That's a little bit about what we do at the IEP Coach. And we also support your parents as well. So we do a plethora of parent workshops focusing on the special education process, IEP process, and what's the difference between IEP and 504s. All right, that's just a little bit about us at the IEP Coach. And we go live every single Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we talk about all things special education. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about setting boundaries for this new school year. But before we get started, drop in the comments, let me know where you're tuning in from, and as always, share out this live. And as I'm telling you to share it out, I'm sharing it out as well. And I hope and I pray everyone is safe. Everyone is enjoying their last bits of the summertime. I know it's been very cool up here in Philly. Has it been hot? I've enjoyed it, but I know some people are like, winding down their summer vacations and they can't really enjoy the beach like that because they can't get in the water, and things like that because of the tides and everything. But I'm enjoying this coolness. And as always, after we go through our topic, I answer your questions live right here on the Coaching Corner. So if you got questions, feel free to go ahead, drop them in the comments now, and someone from my team will make sure that I see them. Oh, okay, we got someone tuning in from Raleigh, North Carolina. Assalamualaikum, TT. All right, so let me share out this live. So share it out. And just so you know, we are going live on our YouTube, our Instagram, Facebook, as well as our LinkedIn page, okay? So you can catch us in so many different places, all right? All right. And I hope everyone had a great weekend. I rested, so I had a great weekend. I got some great rest. All right. Let me go ahead and share out this live. Let me make sure to check out Instagram. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone tuning in on Instagram. All right. So let's go ahead and... Oh, shoot. I think I switched my page by accident. But okay. I'll switch it back. All right. So... Oh, I see what I did wrong. You do something all the time, but then you might forget one little thing. I'm like, wait, I do this all the time. Share it. I could not figure out how to share it. It's too funny. Tune in now. All right, so tonight's topic is setting boundaries for a balanced school year. Oh my God, because I know you guys are going back to school. But before we jump right into that, I want to remind you guys to make sure you subscribe to our newsletter, the IEP Insider. New edition drops every single Wednesday. You don't want to miss it. We got gems in there for SPED teachers as well as administrators. You don't want to miss it. If you're not subscribed already, click the link in the comments and go ahead and subscribe. If you are on our Instagram page, click the link in our bio and you can subscribe right from the link. And also, we have our back to school special. You get 2 PDs for the price of 1. And get it now, and you can schedule the PDs for later. But you're saving money. So you can book your PDs now for helping SPED teachers use AI with their progress monitoring so they can work more efficiently and get the reports done correctly. You can schedule your IEP focusing on how to write effective IEPs and leading successful IEP meetings. We can focus on strictly progress monitoring. The options are limitless. Like, oh my gosh, you can do a part 1 and then have a part 2 later, but you paid for it already and you actually saved money. Which school don't want to save money? click the link in our bio and click the link that I'm dropping in the comment now and book your call with us so you can go ahead and schedule those PDs. 2 PDs for the price of 1. That is a deal. That's a steal. You don't want to miss this. My guys, as much as you guys complain, oh my God, I don't got the money in the budget. I ain't got the money in the budget. Here. This is a present from us at the IEP Coach. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So again, we are focusing on boundaries. A lot of teachers are back in schools. Some people's semesters have already started. Some teachers are back in school. The semester doesn't start until the school year don't start till next week. Some schools are starting after Labor Day. But listen, we teachers, administrators, parents, you got to set the boundaries down right now at the beginning of the year so you don't get burned out, okay? And here's a stat. Since the pandemic, 78% of teachers have said they are on the verge of quitting due to work overload and the huge amount of paperwork that they have to do, and student behaviors. All of that and the lack of support is really weighing them down. But how can you combat that? By having secure boundaries that you consistently implement in your life. Okay? So we can't afford to lose any teachers. We need all the teachers that we have. We can't afford to lose you. So tonight we're going to focus on how to set those boundaries so that way you can manage the things that are going to come your way this year better and more efficiently. All right? So let's jump into it. Now, why boundaries? What does boundaries do? What do? They protect your peace and they protect your time. Okay? Don't look at, we are reframing boundaries because sometimes people think boundaries like, oh my God, you're punishing people. No, you're protecting your time and you are protecting your peace. That's what boundaries do. And they also protect your mental health. I want to say that too. All right? Boundaries protect your mental health, your time, and your peace. Okay? Now, without them, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to get burned out if you don't put them in place. Okay? So I can tell you my own story about not putting boundaries in place. Okay? You all of you who have been following the IEP Coach for some time, you guys know I'm a former SPED teacher, former special education supervisor. So I was a special education teacher for a little over 14 years. So I'm speaking from experience, okay? Because I had a hard time saying no, I had a hard time not taking work home with me, I landed in the ER. I landed myself in the ER. How did I do that? I kept saying yes. And I wasn't cutting it off at work. Like when the day ended, I would stop. I took work home with me. And I got to the point where I felt like it's like, oh my God, there's always something going on. And I was stressing myself out to the point I felt like, you know the feeling you get when you're getting a headache? You know how you know a headache is coming? I had that feeling for over a month. And I remember I was like, if I wake up tomorrow and I still have this feeling, I'm taking myself to the ER. I took myself to the ER. They gave me a CAT scan. And they said, they deemed it to be a migraine. And they said, before they took me back there, they said, are you under a lot of stress? I said, I'm a teacher. I said, I'm a special education teacher. And they just looked like, oh. That's how their face looked. Oh. But they said, and I don't have that pain, but it feels like a headache is coming. But they was like, that is stress. They was looking at it, they said, that is stress. They gave me medication. I wasn't taking that. I wasn't taking those pills, but because I was just like, okay, this is stress. What do I got to do to get the stress out of my life? I needed to implement some boundaries for myself and stick to it and be consistent. So I want to say, have your boundaries and implement your boundaries and hold people to your boundaries. Because it's one thing to have a boundary, but then if you're not holding people to your boundaries to respect your boundaries, they're worthless. Okay? So this is important because your health is at risk. if you don't properly put these boundaries in place at the start of this year. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on right now. Now, some common mistakes we do when we do with boundaries are we say yes to everything. That was something I was doing. So like when you're at work, you know how your principal or assistant principal, somebody comes to you like, oh hey Miss Bashir, would you mind doing this? They make some sob story. You be like, first of all, you already got a lot on your plate. And then by you taking work home all the time, it's like work is coming into your home. Home is supposed to be peace. Home is for your family. Home is not for your schoolwork. Okay, so those lines are starting to blur from home and school. And then you feel bad because you're like, oh, I didn't get a chance to do that. Let me take it home. Oh my God, I didn't get to do that. Or did I do enough for the students? You gotta stop it. Okay? So this school year, you are going to create time boundaries, communication boundaries, and workload boundaries. Okay? So these are the 3 boundaries that you're going to do for this year. Again, time boundaries, communication boundaries, and work boundaries. Let's start with the time boundaries. So decide when you are going to stop working and stick to that. Stick to that. If the school day ends at 3:10, let's just say 3 o'clock, you say, okay, I'm going to leave here at 4 o'clock. You may say an extra hour. And if that's something you want to do, how many days a week you're going to do that? Because you're not doing that every day. If you want to have one day that you stay a little later, pick that one day out the week. But decide, when are you going to stop work and stick to that. Okay? And use a timer to schedule your breaks. Really take a break. Really, when you have your lunch, have lunch. So many teachers, you don't eat your lunch at lunchtime. Eat your lunch. Go to your car if you need to. Go sit outside if you need to. Get out of your classroom, out of the building, out of your room. Get some sun. Go sit in the car if you need to and eat your lunch in peace and quiet. Play your favorite music. Okay? All right. So that's for time. Decide when you are going to stop working, period. Stick to it. All right. Communication boundaries. All right. You know them emails, those parents want to send you emails, admin want to send you emails, your colleagues want to send you emails. Create email rules. So you're not checking emails after this certain time. Okay? For me, I stopped checking emails at 5 o'clock. 5 p.m., I don't check any more emails. Okay? Stick to it. Stick to it. If somebody emails you after that, you're not going to respond back to the morning. Stick to it. This helps you set clear expectations with your parents and your colleagues. Okay? Your workload boundaries. Prioritize your must do versus your nice to do. If someone comes to you and says, Miss Bashir, can you mind helping with this? We got this. I love to support. However, my plate is heavy. Reach out to me another time. Simple. I'll just say, sorry, I can't. Now maybe you don't want to sound so harsh or bad. I love the support with this, but my plate is full. Could we revisit this later? Or don't even give them the option. Could we revisit this later? Say, let's revisit this later. But some of you like, hey, don't revisit it at all. Don't come back to me with this because I don't want to do it. I don't got time to do it. But be clear with your no. And it's okay. Prioritize. For me, I do a brain dump, and it helps me to see what do I have to do versus what's nice to do. Okay? So let's do a recap. Time boundaries. Decide what's going to be the time you stop working. Communication boundaries. Have your rule when you're not going to check emails. What's the time? I told you my time is 5 p.m. I don't check no emails after 5 p.m. Okay? And then the workload. Prioritize your must-do tasks. And here's a bonus. Leave work at work. If it don't get done at work, tomorrow is a brand new day. And I know that's easier said than done. It took me a long time to get comfortable to do that. I want to say I was teaching for about 8 years before I was comfortable to do that. When I came home, my work bag, I dropped it right at the door, and that's where it stayed until the next day. And then on the weekend, it stayed there until Monday. Okay? You gotta set these boundaries and stick to these boundaries, okay? All right, so remember, boundaries is not a punishment. It protects your mental health, your peace, and your time. It's not a punishment. This helps you to model healthy boundaries, and you in turn can teach your students how to model healthy boundaries in their lives. And then again, use the script. Oh, I'm so, even if you don't want to say I would love to help you, you can just say, I'm sorry, my plate is just full right now. We can revisit this later. My admins knew not to come to me because I was a sped teacher. Listen, I had paperwork to do. I'm teaching and I'm a case manager. Don't ask me to do nothing extra. Unless I know you and I come to you like, oh, hey, I can help you. I can help with XYZ. I don't get voluntold to do nothing. Don't play in my time. I have no problem telling people that. Do not play in my time, okay? All right? All right. So remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Boundaries are the bridge between being a drained teacher and a thriving teacher, okay? We want to be on the thriving side, all right? So please, teachers, please, admin, put your boundaries in place, all right? Drop in the comments what boundary you think you're going to put in place this year. Let me know in the comments. And while you are doing that, who has questions? Who has questions? Drop them in a comment. It could be a question about what we were discussing today. Or if you have a special education question that you would like to answer, feel free to drop it here in the comment section. So go ahead and drop your comments. Drop your comments. Not your comments. Drop your questions. That's what I meant to say. Drop your questions. Oh, and I'm just reminding you, our back to school special, get 2 PDs for the price of 1. Definitely take advantage of this special. Share it with your principals. Share it with your administrators in your building, administrators that you know. Share this out, okay? And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter, the IEP Insider. Our new edition drops. A new edition drops every Wednesday. So tomorrow, a new edition is coming out. So make sure you are subscribed so you'll be the first to know when it drops, and you can go ahead and read it. All right, and give us some feedback, give us some comments, let us know what you think. All right, let me see if we got any questions, because I know it takes you a minute to type out your questions. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, I don't see none on Instagram. Let me check the chat here. Let me see. Any questions? All right, I don't think so. No questions. Any questions? That's all. Let's see. Let me check Instagram one more time. And I just want to say, hey, everyone, have an amazing school year. Please remember your capacity. Always remember your capacity. Put boundaries in place for time, for your workload, and for communication. Have your communication boundaries, your workload boundaries, and your time boundaries, okay? Put them in place. I wish I had them in place before I had my ER trip, okay? Put them in place. All right. I don't see any comments. If I don't comments, I keep saying that. I don't see any questions. If a question comes to you later, feel free to send us a DM. We are very responsive and we will get back to you. We will answer your question. All right. So since we don't see any questions, we're going to go ahead and close out. Reminder, subscribe to our newsletter, the IP Insider. A new edition drops tomorrow. And take advantage of our back to school special. You get 2 PDs for the price of 1. That is a great deal. You can book your PDs now, but schedule them for later. And you're saving money. What administrator doesn't want to save money? Okay? So as always, be kind to yourself. Remember your capacity because you're one person. Don't push yourself past your don't push yourself past your capacity and you get burnt out. We don't want that. We want you healthy. We want you thriving. All right. And we will see you next Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at the Coaching Corner. I'm Jamila, aka the IP Coach. Peace.